talking with Sophie, who is a vampire. Hi Sophie, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, how are you?
I am excellent. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to be meeting with you.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's
Excellent.
really nice.
Yes, yes. Okay, so let's just dive right into it because I'm really interested to hear all about you. Vampires are like my favorite monsters, so let's get right into it. Can you start at the beginning and tell us about how you became a vampire?
Well, it's a long story, but to make a long story short, I was working in a brothel house.
A brothel house.
Brothel house, yes.
Working girl.
Yes.
All right.
I was about 17 or 18 when I first started, so I'm really thinking. Anyway, one rainy night, a gentleman came in who's one of our regulars. So I escorted him back to my room. I asked him what I could do for him for the night, and he goes, "I want your blood." Naturally, it made me very nervous, but
Sure.
right. But I thought it was some sort of like role play. So I went along with it. I started to undress, and in an instant, he sunk his teeth into my neck. I blacked out, and when I came to, I realized he had turned me. So that's how it happened.
That sounds terrifying.
I know, it was really, really crazy. It was really scary.
Well, and it just happened just that fast? I mean, you didn't like go to sleep and then the next day you woke up?
No, I blacked out. When I got up, I had to faint, I had everything. It was very scary.
Oh, you must have been horrified.
It was really scary, but things happen.
Oh my goodness. Well, I can't imagine that was good for your career.
No, it was not. It took a very interesting turn after that, I must say.
I'm sure. Well, okay, so you said this was in London. Is that where you're from?
That is where I'm from.
Excellent. All right. And if this isn't too indelicate, can I inquire approximately how old are you?
Isn't that rude of yours not to tell your age?
I mean, if it's really yours, I respect it.
Let's see. I have not been human in over 500 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I can't believe it.
Yes. I should look amazing.
You do look amazing. I would have placed you in your 20s.
Oh,
But that's been a minute, huh?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Okay, so what is your life like now? I mean, do you like live alone, or do you have a family that you live with? Or?
No, I don't have a family. I'm a single child, so and I ran away from home when I was about 13, so I have no family really.
So even as a human, you really
Yeah, even as human, I've never been. I'm alone now.
Okay. So you live alone now?
Yes.
And you're living here in the States?
Well, I don't really have a home. I kind of travel a lot, so I don't really have a particular place that I call home.
Yeah.
I just find a graveyard and sort of sleep out there with the.
So you just kind of like dig yourself into the ground and wait out the sunlight?
Well, sometimes I find a nice tomb to get into,
Okay.
and I just sleep amongst the dead.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad. I mean, they're probably good neighbors.
Yes, it's really comforting.
Not too noisy.
It's just right.
Well, aren't you worried that visitors to the graveyard might stumble upon you during the day? Or does that ever happen?
No, that never really happens because I stay pretty hidden, so it's okay.
Okay.
It works out.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Okay. Well, do you like socialize with other vampires? Is there some kind of a vampire community, or do you guys avoid each other?
Well, no, I do have a group of women that we get together from time to time. Some of the women from the brothel who also fell victim to the same gentleman who turned me. So we feast together from time to time.
That sounds terrifying. Well, as a human. But so the gentleman that turned you and your friends, can you name him?
Well, no, he's actually dead.
Oh, he's been dusted.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you don't have a master.
No.
You own a master.
I can't handle a master. No.
I don't think I would be very good with the master either.
It's not fun.
Okay, all right. And okay, so tell me this, because I know everybody's going to want to know. Do you miss the sun?
No, absolutely not.
No?
I love the dark. It's really fun.
Yeah, I mean, it must feel like a huge advantage being able to see so well in the dark when we're all just stumbling around blind.
Yes, I have a lot of fun in that.
I'm certain that you do. Have you ever sired another vampire?
Well, I try not to because, like I said, I'm a loner, and I just don't really have time for it, honestly. When you sire someone, there's a bond that happens,
Okay.
and it's too much to handle. I don't like it. So I stay away from doing that.
Too much commitment?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't.
I
You
understand.
want- No commitments for me.
All right, well, that's probably the best way to handle things, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about finding room for two to sleep
Exactly.
and sneaking around two different people.
Right.
Right. So I guess if you were to turn somebody, they would become attached to you and follow you around. Yeah, I can see that's not your
No,
thing.
it's not my thing.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, and can you tell us a little bit about feeding? I mean, I know this is a delicate subject, but how do you choose your victims?
Well, when I first started, I only frequent brothel houses because that's where, my environment was. Sometimes I'll go to like a prison or, just whatever. I usually only choose the men though. I don't feed on women, I don't feed on children, so it's mostly men.
Okay, and what would be the reason for that?
Because they're jerks and they're stupid, so, that's-
Okay, gotcha, right on. Tell us, in your opinion, what's the best thing about being a vampire?
Probably that I have supernatural powers, and maybe the fact that I'll be stunning for eternity. That's always good.
That does sound like a big plus.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about these supernatural powers. What kind of gifts do you have?
Okay, so I'm really fast, I'm really strong, and I have this supernatural power where I can sense things about humans. I can tell if they have good soul or not. So that's another way that I choose my victims.
Oh.
So,
So if somebody's like a total jerk, you can tell that even if they're being cool at the moment.
absolutely, yes.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
you look tasty.
And that's why I like to go to prisons a lot, because they're really bad people.
Plenty of bad people in
Plenty of
prison.
bad people to feast on, so yes.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess if you're gonna have to feed on people, you might as well feed on bad people. Sounds reasonable to me.
Exactly.
Okay, so those are the good things about being a vampire.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the flip side? What are the worst things about being a vampire?
The worst thing, I don't know if I have a worst thing. I really like being a vampire. I guess if I have to choose, probably would be the fact that I only crave blood, because I do miss the taste of real food. So
Right.
that might be the only thing.
So you can't eat regular food?
I could, but I don't crave it. It's not something that I want. So
Right, but you could, like, if we were all sitting around eating pizza and you were trying to blend in, you could eat a piece of pizza.
I suppose if I had to, yes, I could eat pizza.
Does our food smell good to you? Does it seem appealing?
No, there's no appeal at all, and it doesn't taste good. Even if I try it, it doesn't taste good. So
Okay, so is there anything that you would like for people to know about vampires?
I would like to say one thing. I feel like vampires get a really bad rap a lot of the time. I've heard things like with soulless creatures. And
That's not true?
well, for me, anyway, there are a lot of vampires that, that could be true for. But in my case, I feel like the humans, like the men that I prey on, it's for a reason. I feel like they deserve it. So, in a sense, I feel like a vigilante, like I'm saving all the women from all the jerks of the world. So, I just want to say that.
Well, I mean, I think that's a valid perspective, honestly. I really do. I mean, because we do tend to think of, anybody you feed on as being your victim, but it sounds like the people that you're choosing are people who victimize others themselves.
Yes, and I take that very seriously. So, I feel like I'm doing the world a service.
So you're almost like a champion for the humans.
Yes, I think it's a good thing.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. That seems very valid to me. well, tell me a little bit about, have you ever met any other kinds of what we would call monsters, like demons, werewolves, things of that nature?
I've met werewolves. We don't really get along that well, but I've met some werewolves. I've met some trolls. I've met some demons. I think they're really delightful. I've met a warlock, and they are very charming.
Really?
And they're really fast too. They're interesting characters. So yes.
Okay, we'll have to try to work in a warlock here. Yeah, have one of
They
those.
are so awesome.
Well, so what are your opinions of like the werewolves and the, what was the other one you said?
Oh, I've
Trolls.
met some trolls. Trolls are really mean. They're kind of mean little creatures.
But there's different kinds of trolls,
They're
right?
all
Like there's
different kinds.
war trolls and bridge trolls and
I've
internet
met-
trolls.
Internet troll. Don't know if I've met an internet troll. I've met bridge trolls, and they're kind of mean. They're very territorial. So
And with those ridiculous riddles.
I know. Like, why are you asking me these questions? They're pretty interesting. So.
All right, and what are your opinion on werewolves? I know you said you guys don't get along too
We
good.
don't. I kind of just stay away. There's a lot of history there, and so I try not to get involved too much in that. So that's what that.
Okay, well, that seems fair enough. You can't get along with people, just stay away from them.
Stay away. Stay away.
That's probably best. We don't want any kind of underworld action going on.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of battling, and I just don't have the patience for it.
Right, right. Plus, you don't want to smell like dog.
No, that's not good.
Okay, so you told us a little bit about how you were working in the brothel. Do you have good memories of being a human?
A little. I don't really have that many because I ran away from home when I was really young.
Right. You were still
my-
very young when you got turned.
Right. So the only really good memory I have is that my mommy used to sing to me. You know, I was like 6 or so. She used to sing me to sleep. But other than that, everything else was pretty dark.
Gotcha.
Not that good.
Gotcha. So there wasn't a lot of daylight in your life even
No,
before.
even before. So I think I was destined for this.
Well, you know what? You seem really well adjusted for a vampire, I gotta say. I mean, we watch the movies and the TV shows and stuff, and we got all these different images of vampires. Some of them are these ridiculous romances with, 500-year-old vampires and 17-year-old girls, which freaks me out a little bit.
That freaks me out too.
I mean, can you imagine?
I cannot imagine, no. That's insane.
Right, right. All right, well, if you could be cured, would you want to be?
Heavens no. Oh no.
You want to go back to being human?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I've been surrounded by darkness all my life. I'm just really comfortable here.
Right, plus it would be like you would be so much more sluggish and
Yeah.
weak and...
Yeah, I don't have time for that.
Right.
I like my powers.
I'm sure you do. I'm kind of jealous of your powers. Although I do like the daytime. That's just my thing.
One to each his own.
Right. Okay, well, can you tell us a story about being a vampire?
Well, I guess I can tell you how it felt in the beginning when I first turned, like the next day when I had to learn how to be.
Oh, yes, that'd be great.
So it was really difficult in the beginning because I'm having all these different feelings and cravings that weren't there before. And my skin always felt like something was crawling because I was craving blood so bad. So my skin always felt like it was crawling, like creatures were crawling all over my skin. It was very painful in the beginning, and I call it the in-between because it's like adjusting to the darkness or whatever.
Okay.
But I got used to it, and then I started to really, really like it. I started to, I actually considered it a sport once I learned how to hunt. So I would time myself to see how fast I could stop the human heart from beating, and it was really fun. I enjoyed it.
Wow.
I liked it a lot.
So, a sport, huh?
Yeah, I consider it a sport. I think I'm really good at hunting, and
Do you kind of toy with your victims, or?
it depends. Like if they're really, really nasty souls, oh yeah.
So you'll
I
terrify
torture
them?
them, yes, because they torture other people. So why not?
Plus, I mean, come on, let's just be honest here. You get some joy out of it.
I do. I have a lot Yes, every day is an adventure, and I'm always somewhere different, so it's a lot of fun.
So you must travel all over the world.
I do. I travel all because I can move really fast, so it takes nothing. I don't have to get in a plane.
Can you fly?
I can. I did not say that. I can
No,
fly.
you didn't tell me that. That's delightful.
I can fly, so I don't have to get in a plane if I want to go somewhere. So I travel all the time.
That sounds amazing. Have you ever been up to like Alaska where it's night for 6 months out of the year or something?
I stay away from Alaska because I don't like the cold.
Okay.
So, everywhere but Alaska.
But the extra darkness, that's gotta
That
seem.
sounds appealing, but I've not been to Alaska. Maybe I need to go there just to see how it feels.
Right, right. I bet you find some other vampires up there.
Maybe, I don't know. I might not want to go there. I don't like to be surrounded by many vampires at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, because, I've watched National Geographic Channel a lot, and top-level predators tend to be territorial, and they don't like to share their territory.
Exactly. I'm not very territorial, but yes, that is the case a lot of times, so I'm good.
Excellent, excellent. All right, Sophie, well, I really appreciate you being here with us tonight and sharing your story as a vampire.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. All right, well, thanks for joining us tonight. Everybody, thank you for being here with us on the Lair. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.